Hello, my dear friends. If you're watching this right now, chances are you're in the golden years of your life, a time when you've experienced much, learned countless lessons, and perhaps faced some challenges that only time can bring. But here's the truth. Aging doesn't have to be something to fear or regret. In fact, it can be the most fulfilling and peaceful phase of your life. What if I told you that there's an ancient wisdom that can completely transform the way you experience your later years, a wisdom that has helped millions of people live not just longer lives, but better lives? I'm talking about the timeless teachings of Buddhism, which offer profound insights on how to care for yourself as you age. Imagine waking up every day feeling at peace, knowing that you've mastered the art of living in the present moment. Picture yourself embracing the changes that come with age, not with resistance, but with grace and acceptance. How would it feel to let go of all the worries and anxieties about the future and simply enjoy the beauty of each moment, no matter what life throws your way? In the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you 8 life-changing Buddhist insights that have the power to completely shift your perspective on aging. These aren't just philosophical ideas, they are practical, actionable teachings that you can apply to your daily life, starting today. And here's the thing. It's never too late to start. No matter your age, these Buddhist principles can help you unlock a deeper sense of happiness, fulfillment, and inner peace. Whether you're in your 50s, 60s, or even beyond, it's all about embracing the wisdom that comes with age and using it to live a life that is not just long, but truly worth living. But before we dive into these insights, let me ask you a question. Do you want to live a life full of peace and joy no matter your age? If the answer is yes, then make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel is here to guide you every step of the way on this beautiful journey. I'll be sharing more wisdom, stories, and practical advice that can help you find happiness at any stage of life. So stay with me and let's embark on this journey together. Let's explore how the teachings of Buddhism can help you embrace aging with a peaceful heart and a joyful soul. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have a new perspective on what it means to grow older, and you'll feel inspired to live your golden years with grace, wisdom, and love. As we grow older, we often look back at our lives, reflecting on the choices we've made and the experiences we've had. It's a natural part of aging to wonder what lies ahead. And yet, in this time of our lives, we also have something invaluable. The gift of wisdom. The wisdom we've accumulated over the years, the lessons we've learned through both joy and hardship. But there's another kind of wisdom that we can tap into, one that has been guiding people for thousands of years, helping them navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with a peaceful heart and a calm mind. That wisdom is Buddhism. Buddhism teaches us that life, in all its forms, is interconnected, impermanent, and full of potential for transformation. These teachings can be especially meaningful as we age, offering practical guidance on how to live in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. You see, the teachings of Buddhism are not just for monks or spiritual seekers. They are for everyone, especially for those of us in our later years who have the opportunity to apply these ancient insights to our daily lives. One of the most beautiful aspects of Buddhist wisdom is its focus on the mind, the inner world, where all of our emotions, thoughts, and experiences arise. For those of us in our 50s and beyond, our mental and emotional health often become even more important than our physical well-being. As our bodies change, it's the mind that can help us find the strength, resilience, and serenity to live a fulfilling life. Buddhist practices such as mindfulness and meditation offer powerful tools for cultivating a peaceful mind and nurturing our spiritual well-being. In the next few minutes, we're going to explore 8 life-changing Buddhist insights that can help You approach aging with grace, acceptance, and joy. These teachings offer practical, actionable advice that you can begin applying today, right where you are. They can help you let go of unnecessary worries, embrace each day with gratitude, and most importantly, find inner peace in a world that often feels chaotic. But first, let's take a deeper look at why these insights are so important for seniors. As we age, our priorities shift, our perspectives change, and we may begin to see the world through a new lens. The insights we're about to explore are not just about getting older, they are about living better, no matter your age. Because it's never too late to embrace the wisdom of Buddhism and transform your life for the better. Number 1. Impermanence. Have you ever stopped to think about the passage of time? The way seasons change, leaves fall, and days come and go, without us even realizing it. The idea of impermanence, the fact that everything in life is constantly changing, is a core teaching of Buddhism, and it's a lesson that can be both comforting and liberating, especially as we grow older. In the famous words of the Buddha, all conditioned things are impermanent. When we see this with wisdom, we turn away from suffering. These simple words hold a profound truth. Life is in constant flux, and nothing, absolutely nothing, lasts forever. As we age, it's easy to look back and feel nostalgic for the days gone by, or even fearful of what lies ahead. But the reality is that everything we experience, the good, the bad, and the moments in between, is temporary. The beauty of impermanence. At first glance, the idea of impermanence might seem like a source of sadness. After all, how can we find peace when everything we love is destined to change or fade away? But here's the beautiful paradox. Understanding impermanence can actually free us from our fears and attachments. It allows us to see that life's fleeting nature is what makes each moment precious. In the book The Heart of the Buddha's Teaching, Thich Nhat Hanh, a renowned Buddhist monk, shares this powerful thought: because everything is impermanent, everything is precious. The very fact that life is transient makes it all the more valuable. Imagine living your days knowing that every sunrise, every conversation, and every quiet moment of reflection is a gift, because we can never truly know how long it will last. Embracing impermanence teaches us to cherish the present moment, to live fully in the now. The struggle with change. As we grow older, we may become more acutely aware of the changes in our bodies and minds. The face we see in the mirror may not reflect the youthful version of ourselves we once knew. Our physical strength may not be what it once was, and we may notice more wrinkles, graying hair, and even health challenges that remind us of the passage of time. These changes can sometimes feel unsettling or even unfair, especially when we feel we haven't had enough time to accomplish everything we hoped for. But Buddhism offers us a different way to look at these changes. The Buddha taught that change is the only constant in life. And if we can truly accept the inevitability of change, we can transform our relationship with it. Rather than resisting the changes that come with age, we can choose to embrace them with grace and wisdom. By doing so, we free ourselves from the anxiety that often accompanies aging. Letting go of attachments. One of the most powerful teachings in Buddhism is the idea of non-attachment, the practice of letting go of our attachment to things, people, and even our own identity. As we age, we often find that we have spent much of our lives collecting possessions, striving for success, and attaching ourselves to goals, titles, or relationships. But in doing so, we may have unknowingly placed our happiness in things that are subject to change. The Buddha once said, "What we are today comes from." If we can embrace the impermanence of life, we can begin to let go of our need to hold on to things that are fleeting. This doesn't mean that we stop caring about the people or things we love. Instead, it means that we learn to appreciate them fully, knowing that they are not permanent. We begin to cherish our loved ones and experiences more deeply, without the burden of expecting them to remain unchanged. In the process, we also free ourselves from the fear of loss. When we accept that everything is temporary, we can experience life with a sense of openness, knowing that change is simply part of the natural order. As the great Buddhist teacher Pema Chodron once said, "Nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know." Life's changes are lessons, teaching us to adapt, to grow, and to find peace in the face of uncertainty. Living with impermanence. So, how can we apply the wisdom of impermanence in our daily lives? First and foremost, it begins with acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or giving up. It means understanding that life will continue to evolve and that we can either resist it or learn to flow with it. Resistance to change only brings suffering, while acceptance allows us to find peace, even in the midst of difficult circumstances. The next step is to practice mindfulness. By paying attention to the present moment, we can fully experience the richness of life without being distracted by worries about the future or regrets about the past. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is the path to the deathless. In other words, by being present in each moment, we tap into a deep well of peace and wisdom that transcends time. This practice can be incredibly valuable as we age, helping us navigate life's changes with a calm and clear mind. A powerful practice for embracing impermanence is gratitude. By cultivating a sense of gratitude for the things we have, whether it's our health, our family, or the beauty of nature, we shift our focus from what we've lost to what we still have. Gratitude helps us appreciate the present moment and find joy in the here and now, rather than constantly wishing for things to be different. As the Dalai Lama wisely said, "When you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears." The power of embracing impermanence in our golden years. For those of us who are in our 50s, 60s or beyond, the wisdom of impermanence can be especially transformative. Aging brings us face to face with the reality that time is limited, but rather than seeing this as something to fear, we can view it as an opportunity to live more intentionally. Each day becomes a precious gift, a chance to make the most of the time we have, to connect with our loved ones, and to pursue the things that truly matter. As you age, think of impermanence as a gentle reminder to savor life. Don't wait until tomorrow to tell someone you love them. Don't put off pursuing that passion you've always dreamed of. Don't let your mind dwell too long on the past or the future. Be here, now, and appreciate the fleeting beauty of the present moment. In the words of the Buddha, "The trouble is, you think you have time. Time is our most precious resource, and understanding that it is constantly changing and passing away can inspire." Number 2, acceptance of aging. As we grow older, many of us begin to face the reality that our bodies and minds are changing. For some, this can be a difficult process to accept. We may look at ourselves in the mirror and see wrinkles graying, hair, and signs of aging that we've never noticed before. The vitality we once felt may seem to be fading, and with it, perhaps even our sense of identity. But what if I told you that aging doesn't have to be something we resist or fear? What if I told you that the acceptance of aging is not only a path to peace, but also a source of profound wisdom and joy? In fact, learning to accept the natural process of aging is one of the most powerful ways we can live our later years with grace, purpose, and inner peace. The Buddha once said, "We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think." This truth speaks to the power of perception. How we see aging, how we think about the process of getting older, directly influences how we experience it. If we resist aging, if we fight against the passage of time, we create suffering for ourselves. But if we learn to accept aging as a natural part of life, one that offers its own beauty and wisdom, we can begin to live with greater freedom and joy. The struggle with aging. Aging is a process that many of us have been conditioned to view negatively. In a society that often values youthfulness, energy, and physical appearance, getting older can sometimes feel like a loss. We may feel invisible or irrelevant as we age, especially in a world that seems to glorify youth. But Buddhism teaches us that the more we resist the natural course of life, the more we suffer. The Buddha said, "Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Aging is a form of pain, it's a part of life. But suffering comes when we resist the changes that come with aging, when we mourn what we have lost instead of appreciating what we still have." The truth is, aging is a privilege, not a burden. In many spiritual traditions, growing older is seen as a time of great wisdom, a time when one's experiences and understanding deepen. As we age, we have the opportunity to reflect on the lessons we've learned and to pass on that wisdom to future generations. Far from being something to fear, aging is a journey that can bring about greater self-understanding and a deeper connection to the world around us. Changing our mindset about aging. In order to truly accept aging, we must begin by shifting our mindset. We must let go of the cultural ideals that place youth on a pedestal and understand that the later years of life can be just as valuable, if not more so, than our younger years. The great spiritual teacher Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Because we are impermanent, we have the opportunity to enjoy everything in a deep way. To truly embrace the wisdom of aging, we must start by changing our thoughts about it. Instead of focusing on what we're losing, we can focus on what we're gaining, deeper understanding, a greater sense of peace, and the opportunity to cultivate a sense of compassion and gratitude for all that life has given us." The way we view aging affects how we experience it. If we see aging as something to fear, we will be stuck in resistance, and resistance brings only frustration and sorrow. But if we can accept aging as a part of life's natural rhythm, then we can begin to appreciate each moment, each day, and each year for the gift that it is. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. Now, let's make one thing clear. Acceptance of aging doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to a life of passivity or complacency. Accepting aging doesn't mean that we stop taking care of our bodies, that we stop pursuing our dreams, or that we stop engaging with the world. It means that we stop fighting the inevitable and instead choose to live fully and authentically, embracing each stage of life with gratitude and mindfulness. The Buddha taught, "It is better to travel well than to arrive." This reminds us that life is not about reaching a final destination or trying to hold on to a particular moment. It's about how we live along the way, how we embrace each part of the journey, no matter how it unfolds. The benefits of accepting aging. So, what are the benefits of accepting aging? First, it allows us to live more peacefully. When we stop resisting the passage of time, we free ourselves from the constant stress and anxiety that comes from trying to hold on to youth or chase after the past. Instead, we can focus on what truly matters. By accepting aging, we can also develop a greater sense of gratitude. The older we get, the more we realize just how precious life is and how valuable each day truly is. This perspective allows us to savor the simple pleasures of life, whether it's enjoying a quiet moment with a cup of tea, spending time with family, or taking a walk in nature. As the Dalai Lama beautifully put it, "Every day, think as you wake up, today I am fortunate to be alive. I have a precious human life. I am not going to waste it." When we accept aging, we also open ourselves up to a deeper sense of self-compassion. We learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and care that we offer to others. Instead of focusing on our perceived limitations, we recognize the strength and wisdom that comes with our experiences. Embracing the gifts of aging. There is a beautiful gift in each stage of life, and as we grow older, we are given the gift of perspective. Aging allows us to step back and see the bigger picture of our lives. We begin to understand that life is not about achieving everything we thought we needed to, but about finding peace and contentment with what we have. It's about making each day meaningful and embracing the wisdom that comes with age. One of the greatest gifts of aging is the opportunity to let go of old grudges, old fears, and old attachments. As we grow older, we realize that the things that once seemed so important, material possessions, status, or even past mistakes, are not what truly matter. What matters most is how we live in the present moment, how we connect with those we love, and how we make the world a better place. The power of acceptance in your golden years. For those of us who are entering or are already in our golden years, the power of accepting aging cannot be overstated. By accepting aging, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and open ourselves to a life that is full of possibility, peace, and joy. As the Buddha wisely said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." So, my friends, let's choose to embrace aging with grace and gratitude. Let's celebrate the wisdom, love, and peace that come with growing older. Let's see aging not as something to fear, but as a gift that allows us to live more fully, love more deeply, and experience the world with a heart full of compassion and joy. Number 3, mindfulness and meditation. Have you ever felt like your mind is racing, constantly jumping from one thought to the next, leaving you feeling anxious or overwhelmed? As we age, many of us experience an increase in stress, worry, and anxiety. We worry about our health, our future, or even the passing of time itself. But what if I told you that there is a way to calm the mind, to find peace and clarity in the midst of life's uncertainties? That way is through mindfulness and meditation, two of the most powerful practices in Buddhism. The Buddha once said, "The mind is everything. What you think you become." This profound statement highlights the power of our thoughts. The way we think shapes our reality. And yet, for many of us, our thoughts are often scattered, clouded with worries and distractions. In a world full of noise and busyness, it's easy to lose touch with the present moment. But the practice of mindfulness helps us return to the here and now, where true peace and happiness can be found. What is mindfulness? At its core, mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, without judgment or distraction. It's about paying attention to our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations with a sense of awareness and acceptance. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is the path to the deathless. What does this mean? It means that by cultivating mindfulness, we can free ourselves from the suffering that comes from living in the past or worrying about the future. Mindfulness allows us to experience life fully, just as it is, without the need to control or change anything. For those of us who are in our later years, mindfulness can be a transformative practice. As we age, we may find ourselves spending more time reflecting on the past or worrying about what lies ahead. Mindfulness helps us anchor ourselves in the present, where true peace resides. The power of being present. Many of us, as we grow older, have experienced loss, whether it's the loss of a loved one, our health, or even our sense of independence. These experiences can make us feel uncertain, fearful, and disconnected. But the practice of mindfulness offers a powerful antidote to these feelings. By bringing our attention to the present moment, we learn to accept life as it is, without judgment or resistance. Thich Nhat Hanh, a beloved Buddhist teacher, beautifully explains mindfulness. When you are mindful, you are alive, you are present, you are here, and you are completely alive. In each moment, there is an opportunity to connect with life, whether it's in the simple act of breathing, walking, or even sipping a cup of tea. Mindfulness teaches us to slow down and fully experience these moments, appreciating the richness of life that often goes unnoticed. Imagine for a moment that you are sitting outside, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin. You close your eyes and take a deep breath, focusing on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. In that moment, you are fully present. Your mind is calm. You are free from worries, from regrets, and from anxieties about the future. This is the power of mindfulness, to bring us back to the present, where life is always happening. Meditation, a gateway to inner peace. While mindfulness can be practiced in any moment, meditation is a formal practice that allows us to cultivate mindfulness on a deeper level. Meditation involves sitting quietly, focusing our attention, and letting go of distractions. It's a way of training the mind to be still, to observe thoughts without attachment or judgment. The Buddha said, "Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance." For seniors, meditation can be an incredibly beneficial practice. It helps reduce stress, improve concentration, and promote emotional well-being. Research has shown that regular meditation can lower blood pressure, reduce anxiety, and improve sleep quality, all of which are important factors for maintaining good health as we age. But perhaps the most profound benefit of meditation is its ability to foster a sense of inner peace. In a world that is constantly changing and filled with uncertainty, meditation offers us a sanctuary, a place where we can experience stillness and calm. As we grow older, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the challenges that come with aging. But through meditation, we can cultivate a sense of inner strength and resilience, allowing us to face life's challenges with a peaceful heart. How to practice mindfulness and meditation. So, how can we incorporate mindfulness and meditation into our daily lives? It's easier than you might think. The beauty of these practices is that they don't require any special skills or equipment. All you need is a willingness to be present, to let go of distractions, and to give yourself permission to slow down. Here are some simple steps you can take to begin practicing mindfulness and meditation. Start with your breath. One of the simplest ways to practice mindfulness is by focusing on your breath. Take a few moments each day to sit quietly, close your eyes, and bring your attention to the sensation of your breath. Feel the air entering your body and leaving it. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring your focus back to your breath. This practice can be done anywhere, while sitting in a chair, lying in bed, or even walking. Practice mindful walking. Walking can be a wonderful opportunity to practice mindfulness. As you walk, pay attention to the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the movement of your body, and the sounds around you. Walk slowly and with intention, focusing fully on the experience of walking. Try guided meditation. If you're new to meditation, guided meditation can be a helpful way to get started. There are many apps and online resources that offer guided meditations, which can provide structure and guidance as you develop your practice. These meditations often focus on relaxation, body awareness, or cultivating positive emotions like gratitude and compassion. Incorporate mindfulness into daily activities. You don't have to set aside special time for mindfulness. You can practice mindfulness while doing everyday activities like washing dishes, eating, or even listening to music. Simply bring your full attention to the activity. The benefits of mindfulness and meditation for seniors. For older adults, the benefits of mindfulness and meditation are truly transformative. As we age, we often face physical limitations, but our minds remain powerful tools for creating peace and happiness. Mindfulness and meditation help us cultivate a sense of inner calm, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with equanimity. By practicing mindfulness and meditation, we also develop a deeper connection to ourselves and others. These practices help us become more compassionate, more patient, and more present in our relationships. We learn to let go of grudges and judgments, embracing life with an open heart. The Buddha once said, "You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger." Similarly, we are not punished by the challenges of aging, but by our resistance to those challenges. Through mindfulness and meditation, we can break free from the patterns of stress and worry, allowing ourselves to live more fully and peacefully. Living with awareness and presence. As we grow older, the gift of mindfulness and meditation becomes even more valuable. These practices allow us to experience life in a deeper, more meaningful way. We become more aware of the beauty in the world around us, more present with our loved ones, and more at peace with ourselves. In the words of the Buddha, the secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, not to worry about the future, or not to anticipate troubles, but to live in the present moment wisely and earnestly. Mindfulness and meditation give us the tools to live wisely and earnestly in the present moment, helping us embrace each day with gratitude and grace. So, my dear friends, let us embrace the present, let us meditate, let us practice mindfulness, and let us find peace in each breath, in each step, and in each moment of our lives. Number 4, compassion and loving kindness. As we grow older, we often reflect on the connections we've made, the relationships we've nurtured, and the impact we've had on others. In our later years, we may begin to feel a deep longing for meaningful connections, for love, and for the ability to give to others. This longing is part of being human, and it's something that can be deeply fulfilling as we embrace it fully. One of the most powerful teachings in Buddhism is the practice of compassion and loving kindness, two qualities that can transform our lives and the lives of those around us. The Buddha once said, "May all beings be happy, may all beings be without disease, may all beings experience the sensation of auspiciousness, may nobody suffer in any way." This simple yet profound wish encapsulates the essence of compassion and loving kindness. It's a wish for the well-being of all beings, regardless of their circumstances. And as we grow older, these qualities become even more important. They give us a deeper sense of connection to others and help us cultivate a heart full of love and peace, understanding compassion and loving kindness. At its core, compassion is the ability to feel for others, to recognize their suffering, and to wish for their relief. It's the understanding that we are all interconnected, and when one person suffers, we all suffer. Loving kindness, on the other hand, is the active expression of love, care, and goodwill toward all beings. It's not just about feeling for others, but about acting in ways that bring peace and happiness to their lives. In Buddhism, compassion and loving kindness are seen as essential qualities for living a peaceful and meaningful life. The Buddha taught that compassion is the wish for all beings to be free from suffering. When we practice compassion, we open our hearts to the pain of others, and in doing so, we help alleviate that suffering. This practice is not just for the young or the strong, but for people of all ages, especially those of us who have lived long lives and have gained so much wisdom through our experiences. The power of compassion. In our later years, as we age, we may face challenges, physical limitations, loss of loved ones, or the fear of our own mortality. But it's precisely in these moments of difficulty that compassion becomes our greatest ally. Compassion helps us to accept our own suffering and to see it as part of the human experience. More importantly, it allows us to reach out to others who may be going through similar struggles. Compassion helps us to find meaning in our challenges and transforms them into, as the Dalai Lama so beautifully puts it, love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. In our later years, we may begin to feel that our time here is limited, and we may start to think about the legacy we will leave behind. Compassion is a powerful way to leave a lasting impact by offering our care, love, and kindness to those around us. These simple acts of love ripple out into the world, spreading peace and healing wherever they go. Loving kindness toward ourselves. 1. Of the most important aspects of compassion and loving kindness is not just offering it to others, but also extending it to ourselves. As we grow older, it's easy to become self-critical, to feel that we are no longer valuable or capable, or to lament the things we've lost. But the practice of loving kindness teaches us to accept ourselves as we are, to recognize the beauty and wisdom that come with age, and to offer ourselves the same love and care that we so freely give to others. The Buddha said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." In our later years, we may need to hear these words more than ever. Aging is not a sign of weakness or failure. It is a natural and beautiful process. When we practice loving kindness toward ourselves, we begin to heal old wounds and cultivate a deep sense of self-compassion. We learn to let go of regrets, forgive ourselves for past mistakes, and embrace the present moment with an open heart, cultivating compassion in our daily lives. Compassion and loving kindness are not just abstract concepts. They are practices that we can cultivate in our daily lives. The good news is that anyone can practice them at any age, no matter what our circumstances. Here are some simple ways to begin incorporating compassion and loving kindness into your life. Start with your thoughts. Every act of compassion begins with a thought. Take a moment each day to reflect on the suffering of others, whether it's the pain of a loved one, the struggles of those in your community, or the challenges faced by people around the world. Send them thoughts of love and healing and wish for their well-being. The Buddha taught that we are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. By cultivating compassionate thoughts, we create a kinder world for ourselves and others. Practice loving kindness meditation. One of the most powerful practices in Buddhism is loving kindness meditation, also known as metta meditation. In this meditation, we focus on sending love and well wishes to ourselves and to others. Start by sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. Then silently repeat phrases such as, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease." After a few minutes, extend these wishes to others, starting with loved ones and gradually expanding to all beings. This practice helps cultivate a heart full of love and compassion for all. Engage in acts of kindness. Compassion is not just about thinking good thoughts. It's also about taking action. Look for opportunities to show kindness to others every day. Whether it's offering a helping hand to a neighbor, volunteering in your community, or simply listening with compassion to someone who needs to talk, each act of kindness ripples out and creates a more loving world. Forgive and let go. One of the greatest acts of compassion is forgiveness. As we age, we may carry old grudges or feelings of resentment toward others or even ourselves. But holding on to these negative emotions only causes us more pain. The Buddha taught, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Forgiveness frees us from the burden of resentment and allows us to move forward with a heart full of peace and love. The transformative power of compassion and loving kindness. As we grow older, the practice of compassion and loving kindness can transform the way we experience life. Instead of focusing on what we've lost, we begin to focus on what we can give. Instead of feeling isolated, we feel connected to the world around us, understanding that we are all part of a larger human family. The more we practice compassion, the more we open our hearts, and the more we experience the profound joy that comes from giving love. The Buddha taught, if you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. This wisdom reminds us that when we share love and kindness with others, we too are blessed. The love we give comes back to us in ways we cannot even imagine. In our later years, we have the opportunity to leave a legacy of love, compassion, and goodwill that will continue to ripple through the lives of others long after we are gone. In our golden years, the practice of compassion and loving kindness can become a guiding light. It can help us find peace in the face of aging, joy in the relationships we've built, and meaning in the service we offer to others. By practicing these qualities, we can live a life that is rich in connection, purpose, and love. So, my dear friends, let us make compassion and loving kindness the foundation of our lives. Let us offer love to ourselves, to others, and to the world, because in the end, as the Buddha said, in separateness lies the world's great misery, in compassion lies the world's true strength. Let us be strong, not in what we can take, but in what we can give. Number 5, non-attachment. Have you ever noticed how attached we can become to things in life? Whether it's our possessions, our achievements, our relationships, or even our own identity, it's easy to become entangled in the desire to hold on to what we love, to cling to the things that bring us comfort and security. But what if I told you that non-attachment, the ability to let go and free ourselves from the grip of our attachments, could actually bring us more peace, freedom, and joy, especially as we grow older? The Buddha once said, attachment is the root of suffering. These words ring true, particularly as we age and experience the inevitable changes that come with time. Our bodies change, our relationships evolve, and even our identities shift as we navigate the later stages of life. And yet, if we can learn to let go of our attachments, whether to material things, past experiences, or even the fear of the future, we can unlock a deeper sense of peace and freedom. What is non-attachment? At its core, non-attachment is the ability to let go of our attachment to things, people, and outcomes. It doesn't mean that we stop caring or loving. Rather, it means that we stop clinging to these things as the source of our happiness or identity. In Buddhism, attachment is seen as a major cause of suffering because it creates a false sense of security. When we cling to something, whether it's a person, a possession, or an idea, we set ourselves up for disappointment because everything is impermanent. As the Buddha wisely taught, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. Our attachments shape the way we experience the world, and when those attachments are threatened or taken away, we feel pain. Non-attachment is the practice of recognizing that nothing in this world is permanent. Everything, whether it's our health, our loved ones, or even our possessions, is temporary. When we accept this truth, we free ourselves from the anxiety and fear that come with the possibility of losing what we cherish. Instead, we can appreciate everything as a gift, knowing that it is here for a time, but that it will eventually pass. This acceptance of impermanence is a central teaching in Buddhism, and is crucial for finding peace in the face of life's changes. The struggle with attachment. In aging as we age, we often find ourselves holding on more tightly to the things that have defined us, our health, our appearance, our work, and even our relationships. We may become afraid of losing these things, and in doing so, we inadvertently create suffering for ourselves. We may look in the mirror and see the changes in our bodies and feel sadness or fear about what's slipping away. We may worry about losing our independence or about outliving loved ones. These fears and attachments can weigh heavily on our hearts, making it difficult to experience peace. But the practice of non-attachment offers a way to break free from these fears. The Buddha said, "Nothing is permanent, not even our suffering." This profound truth reminds us that even the difficulties we face are temporary. When we can let go of our attachment to the way things have been or the way we wish they would be, we can begin to find peace in the present moment. Non-attachment allows us to accept life as it is, rather than constantly striving for something that may never come. The power of letting go. One of the most powerful aspects of non-attachment is that it frees us from the need to control life. In our younger years, we may have spent a great deal of time striving to achieve certain goals, to hold on to certain things, or to make our lives look a certain way. But as we grow older, we begin to realize that we cannot control everything. Our health may decline, our relationships may change, and life may take unexpected turns. When we let go of our attachment to control, the Buddha taught, "You only lose what you cling to." When we let go of our need to control the future, we stop living in fear of what may or may not happen. We learn to live in the present moment, appreciating the gifts that life gives us without holding on too tightly. This doesn't mean that we stop caring or stop making efforts to live a good life. It simply means that we stop defining our happiness and sense of self based on external circumstances. Instead, we find peace within ourselves, regardless of what happens around us. Non-attachment and relationships. One of the most difficult areas of attachment is in our relationships. As we grow older, we may experience the loss of loved ones, either through death, distance, or changing circumstances. It's natural to feel sadness and grief when we lose someone important in our lives. But it's also important to remember that love is not about possession. True love is about freedom. Freedom to let go. Freedom to allow others to grow and change, and freedom to appreciate the time we have together without clinging to it. The Buddha said, "To love and to be loved is the most precious thing in the world." But love does not require attachment. It does not require control. When we practice non-attachment in relationships, we create space for the people we love to be who they are, and we allow ourselves to love them without expectation. This creates a deeper, more fulfilling connection, because it is not based on what we can hold on to, but on what we can give. Non-attachment in relationships also means letting go of any resentment or negative emotions we may carry from the past. The Buddha taught, "Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Holding on to old grudges, regrets, or resentments only harms us." When we let go of these attachments, we free ourselves from the burden of negative emotions and allow ourselves to live more peacefully. The practice of non-attachment. Non-attachment is not something that happens overnight. It is a practice that requires patience, mindfulness, and self-awareness. Here are a few ways to begin practicing non-attachment in your daily life. Practice mindfulness of the present moment. When you feel yourself becoming attached to something, whether it's an object, a person, or an outcome, bring your attention back to the present moment. Focus on your breath, your surroundings, or your body. Remind yourself that everything is temporary and that this moment is all that truly exists. Let go of the need to control. In your relationships and in your life, practice letting go of the need to control outcomes. Instead, focus on doing your best in each moment and accepting whatever comes. Trust that life will unfold as it is meant to. Release attachments to possessions. As we age, we may find ourselves attached to material things, our home, our possessions, or even our memories. While these things can bring comfort, they are ultimately fleeting. Practice letting go of your attachment to things, knowing that true happiness comes from within, not from external possessions. Embrace change. Change is an inevitable part of life, especially as we grow older. Rather than resisting it, practice embracing it with open arms. Each change, whether it's the loss of a loved one or a shift in your own health, is an opportunity to grow and learn. Forgive and let go. If there are past hurts or resentments that you are holding on to, practice the art of forgiveness. Let go of the attachment to the pain and free yourself from the burden of negativity. As the Buddha taught, forgiveness is the fragrance, a violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it, the freedom of non-attachment. When we practice non-attachment, we free ourselves from the cycle of craving and clinging. We let go of the need for things to be a certain way, and instead, we learn to find peace in whatever comes our way. This freedom is particularly powerful as we age, because it allows us to live fully in the present moment. The Buddha's teachings remind us that the root of suffering is attachment. By letting go of our attachments, we can free ourselves from suffering and experience life with a greater sense of peace, joy, and freedom. As we grow older, the practice of non-attachment becomes even more important, because it helps us navigate the changes and challenges of life with grace and wisdom. So, my dear friends, let us embrace the practice of non-attachment. Let us release our hold on the things that no longer serve us and find peace in the present moment, because in the end, as the Buddha said, you will not be punished for your attachment, you will be liberated by your detachment. Number 6. Gratitude. As we move through life, there are moments when we find ourselves focused on what we don't have, on what we've lost, what we wish we could change, or the things that seem out of our control. But what if, instead of dwelling on what's missing or what's gone, we turned our attention to the countless things in our lives that are worthy of gratitude? What if we could cultivate a daily practice of gratitude, finding peace and joy in the simple, everyday blessings that we often overlook? The Buddha once said, "Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little, and if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick, and if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us all be thankful." These words remind us that no matter what we face in life, there is always something to be grateful for. Even on the darkest days, there is light to be found, and the practice of gratitude can help us uncover that light. The power of gratitude. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a practice, a conscious decision to focus on what we have rather than what we lack. When we cultivate gratitude, we shift our perspective from one of scarcity to one of abundance. We begin to see the beauty in the simple things, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the laughter of a loved one, the kindness of a stranger, or even the gift of another day. The Dalai Lama beautifully put it, "When you practice gratefulness, there is a sense of respect toward others." Gratitude opens our hearts to others and to life itself. It reminds us that we are not alone, and that the world is full of goodness, love, and beauty, if only we take the time to notice. For seniors, the practice of gratitude can be transformative. As we age, we may face challenges, health issues, loss, or the natural changes that come with time. But by focusing on gratitude, we can shift our attention away from what's difficult or painful and toward the abundance of blessings in our lives. Gratitude helps us stay connected to the present moment and to the many gifts that life continues to offer, no matter our circumstances. The science of gratitude. Research has shown that practicing gratitude has profound effects on our mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. Studies have demonstrated that people who regularly practice gratitude experience lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. They sleep better, have stronger immune systems, and are more optimistic about the future. In fact, gratitude is one of the most powerful tools we have for improving our overall well-being. Dr. Robert Emmons, a leading researcher on gratitude, writes, "Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. It increases happiness and reduces depression. For seniors who may sometimes struggle with feelings of isolation or sadness, gratitude provides a way to reclaim joy and fulfillment. By recognizing the positive aspects of life, we naturally begin to experience a shift in our emotional state, leading to greater happiness and contentment." Gratitude and acceptance. One of the most profound benefits of gratitude is its ability to foster acceptance. Acceptance is a central teaching in Buddhism. The Buddha said, "When you realize how perfect everything is, you will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky." When we practice gratitude, we begin to accept life as it is, with all its imperfections and challenges. Instead of resisting the difficulties we face, we learn to see them as opportunities for growth and wisdom. Gratitude helps us embrace the present moment, and when we accept the present, we open ourselves up to peace. This is especially important as we age. Aging can bring feelings of loss or regret, but when we focus on the things we are grateful for, we shift our mindset. We stop focusing on what's missing and begin to see what remains. As the years pass, we accumulate wisdom, experiences, and relationships that are worth cherishing. Gratitude helps us honor these gifts and live with a deep sense of appreciation for them. Gratitude is also a powerful force for strengthening relationships. The more we express gratitude for the people in our lives, the deeper our connections become. When we take the time to acknowledge the kindness and support of others, we not only uplift them, but we also enhance our own sense of belonging and love. The Buddha taught, "The roots of all goodness lie in the soil of appreciation for goodness." By practicing gratitude in our relationships, we build stronger, more loving connections with others. As we age, we may find ourselves surrounded by family, friends, or even strangers who offer their support, love, and care. Gratitude allows us to appreciate these people, to recognize their kindness, and to cultivate a deeper sense of compassion and connection. Gratitude also allows us to forgive and let go of old wounds. As we age, we may carry regrets or resentments from the past. But when we practice gratitude, we begin to release these negative emotions and open our hearts to healing. The Buddha said, "Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die." By letting go of resentment and focusing on gratitude, we free ourselves from the burden of the past and create space for love and peace in the present. How to cultivate gratitude in your daily life. The beauty of gratitude is that it's a practice anyone can incorporate into their daily life. It doesn't require special tools or training, just a willingness to notice the good in your life. Here are some simple ways to begin cultivating gratitude. Keep a gratitude journal. One of the most effective ways to practice gratitude is by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. These can be small, everyday blessings, such as a warm cup of tea, a phone call from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. Over time, you will begin to notice just how much good is already in your life. Express your gratitude to others. Take the time each day to express your gratitude to the people around you. A simple thank you can go a long way in strengthening your relationships and letting others know that you appreciate them. Whether it's a family member, a friend, or a stranger, taking the time to acknowledge the kindness of others creates a ripple effect of positivity, Practice mindful gratitude. Throughout the day, take a few moments to practice mindful gratitude. When you're walking, eating, or even doing household chores, take a moment to reflect on what you are thankful for. This practice helps you stay grounded in the present moment and cultivates a deep sense of appreciation for your life as it is. Focus on what you have, not what you lack. It's easy to focus on what we don't have or what we wish we could change. But practicing gratitude involves turning our attention to what we already have. Look around you. There is always something to be grateful for, whether it's the beauty of nature, the love of family, or the ability to experience another day of life. Turn challenges into opportunities. When faced with difficulties, try to find something to be grateful for in the situation. Challenges often bring growth and wisdom, and by focusing on the lessons they offer, we can transform adversity into gratitude. The transformative power of gratitude. Gratitude has the power to transform our outlook on life. When we practice gratitude, we shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. We begin to see the blessings that are present, even in the most difficult times. Gratitude helps us live more fully, love more deeply, and appreciate each moment as a gift. As the Buddha said, if you want to fly, you have to give up the things that weigh you down. Gratitude lifts us up, freeing us from the weight of negativity, regret, and fear. It allows us to soar above the challenges of life and live with a heart full of love, joy, and peace. In our golden years, gratitude can be a source of strength, joy, and healing. It helps us embrace aging with grace, accept the changes we face, and find peace in the present moment. So, my dear friends, let us make gratitude a daily practice. Let us appreciate the life we have, the people we love, and the countless blessings that surround us. Because in the end, as the Buddha wisely said, number 7, live simply. In our fast-paced, materialistic world, it can be easy to forget the value of simplicity. We live in a society that often encourages accumulation, whether it's possessions, achievements, or experiences. We are told that happiness comes from having more things, more success, more recognition. But what if the secret to a fulfilling and peaceful life was actually found in the opposite? What if true happiness lies in living simply, in letting go of excess, and in focusing on what truly matters? The Buddha once said, "Live simply so that others may simply live." These words hold a profound truth. In simplicity, there is freedom. When we release ourselves from the constant desire for more, we create space for what really matters: peace, contentment, and connection with ourselves and the world around us. The beauty of simplicity. Simplicity doesn't mean deprivation or living without. It means focusing on the essentials, removing distractions, and embracing the richness of life without the need for excessive accumulation. Living simply allows us to clear away the clutter, both physical and mental, and create room for peace, joy, and clarity. In Buddhism, simplicity is seen as a key element of mindfulness and inner peace. The Buddha taught that the greatest wealth is to live content with little. This doesn't mean that we must reject the comforts of life, but it invites us to reflect on what is truly necessary for our happiness. When we let go of the constant pursuit of material possessions or social status, we find that we are already surrounded by the things that truly matter: our health, our relationships, our moments of stillness, and our connection to the present moment. As we grow older, the desire to accumulate more often fades. We begin to realize that the things we once thought we needed are no longer as important. Instead, we begin to appreciate the simple pleasures: sitting in silence, spending time with loved ones, or taking a walk in nature. This shift towards simplicity can bring about a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment, especially in our later years. Living simply in a material world, in a world that constantly pushes us to consume, the idea of living simply can seem counterintuitive. We are bombarded with advertisements, messages, and societal pressures to buy more, achieve more, and do more. But the more we accumulate, the more we find ourselves weighed down by our possessions, our responsibilities, and our expectations. The Buddha warned against this trap, saying, "You only lose what you cling to." When we cling to material things, we are often left feeling empty and unfulfilled because our happiness becomes dependent on things that are fleeting and impermanent. Living simply means breaking free from the cycle of consumerism and instead focusing on what brings us true joy. It means shifting our priorities from external achievements and possessions to internal peace and satisfaction. As we age, the weight of materialism becomes even more burdensome, and the simplicity of life becomes more appealing. We start to recognize that the greatest treasures in life are not things, but moments of peace, connection, and love. In the words of Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher, simplicity, patience, compassion, these three are your greatest treasures. Simplicity allows us to experience life with greater clarity and intention. It frees us from the distractions that pull us away from the things that truly matter. When we live simply, we can more fully appreciate the richness of the present moment without being overwhelmed by the noise and clutter of modern life. The benefits of living simply as we age. For those of us in our later years, living simply can have a profound impact on our well-being. Aging often brings about a natural process of letting go, whether it's downsizing our homes, losing loved ones, or facing health challenges. Rather than seeing these changes as losses, we can choose to embrace them as opportunities to simplify and declutter our lives, both physically and mentally. The practice of living simply can help reduce stress, increase mindfulness, and improve our overall mental and emotional health. When we let go of unnecessary possessions, responsibilities, and worries, we create space for inner peace and joy. We can focus on what truly matters. In his book, The Art of Simple Living, Shunmyo Masuno, a Zen monk, writes, "To live a simple life means to focus on the things that truly matter. When you do this, you'll realize that happiness doesn't come from what you possess, but from what you experience." This is especially true as we grow older. We begin to realize that the pursuit of more doesn't lead to lasting happiness. Instead, happiness comes from appreciating the simple, everyday experiences, the warmth of a hug, the joy of a quiet afternoon, the peace found in a moment of solitude. How to embrace simplicity in your life. Living simply doesn't require drastic changes or radical shifts. It's about making small, intentional choices every day that bring you closer to a life of contentment and peace. Here are a few simple practices you can incorporate into your life. Declutter your space. One of the most immediate ways to embrace simplicity is by decluttering your home. Start by letting go of things that no longer serve you, items that are no longer useful, meaningful, or loved. Simplifying your physical space creates mental clarity and reduces stress, allowing you to focus on the things that truly matter. Practice mindful consumption. Instead of constantly buying new things, practice mindful consumption. Ask yourself if you really need something before purchasing it. Choose quality over quantity and prioritize experiences over material possessions. This will not only reduce the clutter in your life, but also allow you to enjoy the things you already have more fully. Prioritize what matters most. As we age, we often have more time to reflect on what matters most in our lives. Make a conscious effort to prioritize relationships, personal growth, and well-being over external achievements. Spend time with loved ones, invest in hobbies that bring you joy, and focus on nurturing your spiritual and emotional health. Slow down and be present. In a world that values speed and efficiency, it's easy to rush through life. But living simply means slowing down and being fully present in the moment. Take time to savor simple pleasures, whether it's enjoying a meal, watching the sunset, or listening to the sounds of nature. By slowing down, you create space for mindfulness and peace. Let go of attachments. Living simply is closely tied to the practice of non-attachment. As we grow older, we may find ourselves attached to possessions, memories, or even ideas of who we once were. Letting go of these attachments allows us to embrace the present and find freedom in the simple joys of life. The freedom found in simplicity. The true beauty of living simply is the freedom it brings. When we let go of the need for more, we stop being slaves to the endless pursuit of wealth, success, and recognition. Instead, we become free to live with intention, to focus on the things that bring us joy, and to appreciate the richness of each moment. The Buddha taught, "The more you know, the less you need." Simplicity allows us to focus on what truly brings us peace and happiness, rather than being distracted by the demands and pressures of the world around us. As we age, simplicity becomes an even greater source of strength. It allows us to live with dignity, grace, and contentment, regardless of our circumstances. It frees us from the burden of comparison and the constant need for approval. When we live simply, we can appreciate the life we have, exactly as it is, without needing more to feel fulfilled. Living simply in our golden years. In our golden years, living simply is not just about reducing clutter or possessions, it's about embracing the richness of life as it is. By simplifying our lives, we can find peace, joy, and contentment in the present moment. We can let go of the fear of the future and the regrets of the past, and instead live fully in the here and now. As the Buddha said, to live a simple life is to walk the path of peace and joy. In our later years, let us walk that path with grace, embracing simplicity and finding joy in the simple everyday blessings that life continues to offer. Number 8. Inner peace. As we journey through life, we often find ourselves searching for peace. We seek it in our relationships, in our achievements, and sometimes even in our possessions. But true inner peace, a peace that isn't dependent on external circumstances, can only be found within ourselves. It is a state of being that transcends the challenges and changes we face, especially as we grow older. And while finding inner peace may seem, the Buddha taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. This powerful teaching reminds us that peace is not something we can acquire from the outside world. It is something we cultivate within ourselves. As we age, the external world may bring more challenges, more losses, and more changes. But by nurturing inner peace, we can navigate these changes with a calm and centered heart. The essence of inner peace. Inner peace is not simply the absence of conflict or noise. It is a state of balance and tranquility that arises from a deep sense of acceptance and understanding. It is a peace that is not disturbed by the ups and downs of life. In Buddhism, this state of peace is referred to as equanimity, a quality of mind that allows us to remain undisturbed by joy or sorrow, success or failure. The Buddha said, equanimity is the perfect balance of the mind. As we grow older, we may face a variety of challenges, physical ailments, the loss of loved ones, or the realization that time is running out. These challenges can create feelings of fear, anxiety, or sadness. However, when we cultivate inner peace, we are able to meet these challenges with a calm and clear mind. We can accept the changes that come with aging without being overwhelmed by them. Inner peace is the foundation that allows us to respond to life's difficulties with grace and wisdom. rather than with fear or resistance. The importance of acceptance. 1. Of the key elements of inner peace is acceptance. We cannot control everything that happens in life, especially as we grow older. Aging, loss, and change are natural parts of the human experience. But when we learn to accept these changes rather than resist them, we create space for peace. The Buddha said, "Acceptance is the key to peace." Acceptance does not mean giving up or resigning ourselves to a life of passivity. It means recognizing that certain things are beyond our control and learning to let go of our attachment to them. When we accept the impermanence of life and the inevitability of change, we free ourselves from the anxiety and frustration that come from resisting what cannot be changed. For example, as we age, we may find that our bodies no longer function the way they once did. Instead of fighting this reality, we can learn to accept it with grace and gratitude. We can shift our focus from what we've lost to what we still have, the wisdom, the love, and the experiences that make life meaningful. Acceptance allows us to be at peace with ourselves and with the world around us. The practice of meditation for inner peace. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating inner peace is meditation. Meditation allows us to quiet the mind, let go of stress, and connect with the present moment. In Buddhism, meditation is seen as a way to cultivate mindfulness and equanimity, helping us achieve the balance and peace that the Buddha described. The Buddha himself was a master of meditation, and he said, "Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance." Through regular practice, we can train our minds to remain calm and centered, even in the face of life's difficulties. Meditation helps us observe our thoughts without becoming attached to them, allowing us to release negative emotions and find inner peace. There are many forms of meditation, but one simple practice that can be especially helpful for seniors is mindfulness meditation. This practice involves sitting quietly and focusing on your breath, bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment. When thoughts arise, simply acknowledge them and gently return your focus to your breath. With regular practice, mindfulness meditation can help reduce stress, increase clarity, and cultivate a deep sense of inner peace. Letting go of negative emotions. In order to experience true inner peace, we must also learn to let go of negative emotions. Throughout life, we accumulate emotional baggage, resentments, regrets, fears, and worries. These emotions can weigh us down and prevent us from finding peace. But when we practice letting go, we release the burden of negativity. The Buddha taught, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Negative emotions such as anger, resentment, and fear only harm us when we cling to them. They prevent us from living fully in the present moment and keep us trapped in the past or the future. Letting go of these emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It means acknowledging them, understanding them, and then releasing them with compassion. As we age, we may find that old wounds resurface, perhaps from past relationships, missed opportunities, or regrets. But by practicing forgiveness and compassion, both for ourselves and others, we can release these old burdens and make room for peace. The act of forgiveness is a powerful tool for healing and for cultivating a heart that is free from the weight of the past. The role of compassion in inner peace. Another essential aspect of inner peace is compassion, both for ourselves and for others. Compassion is the ability to understand and share the suffering of others, and to act with kindness and love. When we are compassionate, we open our hearts to the world and connect with others on a deeper level. The Buddha said, "Compassion is the wish for all beings to be free from suffering." By practicing compassion, we not only alleviate the suffering of others, but we also bring peace to ourselves. When we show kindness and love to those around us, we create a ripple effect of peace and positivity. And when we extend compassion to ourselves, we nurture a sense of self-acceptance and inner calm. In our later years, compassion becomes even more important. As we face the challenges of aging, we can offer ourselves the same love and care that we so freely give to others. By treating ourselves with compassion, we find the strength and peace to navigate the difficulties of life with grace. Practical steps for cultivating inner peace. Cultivating inner peace is a lifelong practice that requires patience, mindfulness, and self-compassion. Here are a few practical steps you can take to nurture inner peace in your life. Practice mindfulness every day. Start each day with a few moments of mindful breathing. Focus on your breath, allowing yourself to be fully present in the moment. This simple practice helps center your mind and set a peaceful tone for the day. Create a peaceful environment. Surround yourself with things that bring you peace and joy, whether it's a quiet space for meditation, a favorite book, or the beauty of nature. Your environment has a powerful impact on your state of mind, so create a space that promotes calm and tranquility. Let go of negative thoughts and emotions. Whenever negative thoughts arise, acknowledge them without judgment and then gently let them go. Practice forgiveness and compassion, both for yourself and others, to release the emotional weight that can prevent inner peace. Cultivate gratitude. Focus on what you are grateful for each day. Gratitude helps shift your attention away from what is lacking and towards the abundance in your life. The more you practice gratitude, the more peace you will experience. Engage in activities that bring you joy. Spend time doing things that make you feel happy and fulfilled. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing a hobby, or simply enjoying a quiet moment, these activities contribute to a sense of peace and well-being. The peace of acceptance. True, inner peace comes from acceptance, accepting ourselves, accepting life as it is, and accepting the inevitability of change. The Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." As we age, we may encounter challenges that are beyond our control, but by accepting these challenges with grace and understanding, we find peace in the midst of them. We stop resisting what is, and instead embrace life fully, with all its beauty and imperfection. In the end, inner peace is not something we can attain or achieve. It is something we cultivate through practice, awareness, and acceptance. The more we nurture our inner peace, the more we become the calm in the storm, the stillness amidst the chaos of life. And as we grow older, this peace becomes a priceless gift. So, my dear friends, let us find peace within ourselves. Let us practice mindfulness, cultivate compassion, and embrace the present moment with open hearts. For as the Buddha said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection, and in this love we find the peace we seek. Life may not always be easy, especially as we grow older, but through the Buddhist insights we've explored today, from acceptance of aging to simplicity, gratitude and inner peace, we can truly live a more fulfilling and joyful life. As Buddha said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. When we embrace mindfulness, compassion, and let go of what we can't control, we unlock a path to lasting happiness and tranquility, no matter our age. If you found these insights helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more wisdom and inspiration. Don't forget to like, share with your friends, and leave a comment letting us know how you plan to embrace these teachings in your own life. Together, let's create a